Do you know Army?
Do you know Army?
Do you know Army?
Hi everyone, I am Sarah.
I'm Mimi.
Zoe.
Buana.
And today we are talking
About Cookie!
about Jeon Jungkook,
Jeon Jungkook.
Cookie!
the greatest evil on this planet.
Mimi
Today,
is extremely excited.
she's
Yes.
very excited.
I am. Because Cookie was the realization that I loved BTS. I didn't realize that I actually had feelings for them until Cookie.
She jumped right into it, but let me tell you what we're doing here today. So we have been talking about each and every one of the members, going in order with the fan chant.
We have.
And now we are finally to Cookie, Jeon Jungkook, which is right at the end.
Mm-hmm.
And now we can talk about what we love about Jeon Jungkook.
We're talking about
You
the
can continue now, Mimi.
golden matinee.
Yeah, so when we were talking about just picking a bias, he was the first one I just picked without taking my time or getting to know.
Mm-hmm.
But he just stood out for me. And I was like, he's my bias until I realized how old he was. I said, ooh, baby,
You
let
are
me put
talking
you back
like a
on the shelf.
gazillion miles an hour.
Excited.
I'm
You are
excited.
very excited.
And then I had to put baby back on the shelf. He needed to age with wine. So
Oh, he aged with wine.
That's true. Because
He aged like
with
wine.
wine
Okay.
and cheese and fermented kimchi.
as the youngest one of the group, we're the Korean turn the matinee. Yes, he is the youngest, born in 97, which even though I'm the matinee of our group, I'm still older than him by a year. So yes, when BTS debuted on that fateful day, he was still a child.
So wait a minute, guys. Sarah, she has no idea what's getting ready to happen. So who's your bias?
Cookie?
Cookie's
Jungkook?
your bias.
Who's
Yes.
your man?
Who's
your
your
man?
man?
Cookie?
Yeah.
What about this?
Who's your
Where are we going?
future fiance, husband?
Yes, we're engaged. Me and Cookie.
Oh,
We're
Yeah.
oh.
Right,
So
actively.
you like if you were connected and then all of a sudden you weren't connected, you would feel
Yes.
some type of way.
Yes.
Yeah, I call BS on that.
What do you mean?
Tell him, Miyaka.
So I'm gonna start with. I had nothing to do with this. I didn't. 'Cause, I mean, at the very beginning, I said we have got to.
No, you had
that.
everything to do with
I'm thinking no, just because it was housed in my room.
No, because how many times have I said, should we go ahead? Should we go ahead? You
I don't know
were the
what's
main
happening right now.
person saying no. Not
Okay, so our
hell.
audience does not know what's gonna happen.
Yes.
So please, let's just go ahead.
So, Sarah,
But take them back.
So
To the
a little
holiday
while
weekend.
ago, we went to the BT21 store.
It was called VT Cosmetics.
we just call it
BT
BT
Cosmetics.
It's pretty much a BTS
But we
store.
went there for BT21 merchandise.
When I tell y'all we went buck wild,
As you well know.
we went buck wild. Apparently, one of us, Sarah Miss Cookie, went so buck wild, she don't remember all the things that she bought.
No.
Because
Probably not.
we went last December,
Yeah.
and
Now it's what?
when we came home, she got dropped off, and she unloaded everything, and then we came on home because we live in separate houses. And then when we got home and unloaded everything, we realized,
This isn't ours. This is our matinees.
and it's something that's pretty large and significant.
Very significant. Now let me just say, because I know Miyaka probably forgot, but she was very excited about the fact how we dogged her when we did Jimin.
And talking about the poster,
yes, we are.
I told you exactly, yes. If we disconnected, I would know.
Yeah, you
there
knew
you go.
12 years later.
I knew.
You
I was
know?
going to come pick him up.
Really?
So,
When?
ladies and gentlemen,
When?
ladies and
This
germs,
happened when in December?
we are
Because
in
we
January, February,
questioned
March.
her about it before this.
We are in March. This happened in December.
I had to move, and this household is much safer and more stable for
Look
him.
at her.
Denial.
She can think on her feet, y'all.
So this is why we will never rob a bank with you, because we know if we caught you out,
I told
you
them,
will say,
yeah.
I don't know these ladies, sir.
But what we do know is when she is questioned and she's under the light, she will think on,
Yeah,
she
she
gonna
can
come up with
think.
some stuff. She can BS her way out of
I
that.
will
Very
straight up tell him, look in the eye, and say, officer, at 3:22 p.m. and 32 seconds, this is what I did. And I'll go through an entire story, and I'll recite it once again for you, officer.
And then he'll say, wait a minute, didn't I see this on the K-drama one?
to it. But so Sarah is reunited with her Cookie poster that she...
Which is really nice.
Post a picture of it whenever she has time to take one. Mm-hmm. So you guys can see what she's been missing for months.
On my behalf, in my defense is what I meant to say. Once I moved in, the first thing that went up was one of my other many pictures of Cookie. Mm-hmm. So it's not like this is the only image of him I have.
For sure. Yeah, we are witness to that. But that was our call out round.
Yeah, well, they did call out round a little preemptively, but we are gathered here today to talk about what we love about Cookie. So I will not go into what I hate about him.
Yeah, right.
But it has been such an honor watching him grow up. Oh my goodness.
Did you just drop Cookie?
He jumped off the bench. I can't control him.
He's been neglected.
Someone else go on about
Which
Cookie.
brings up another subject. He is uncontrollable.
He is okay, the On One concert, that was...
My God.
So what we theorized what in the world, what happened backstage when Stylist Nuna said, you gonna wear this, and he was like, oh, okay, and then he went over and got a different shirt and then had Namjoon rip half of it so it would fall off as he's performing, and Stylist Nuna saw him go on stage and was like, wait a minute, that's not what I get. And then Namjoon got in trouble because he didn't keep Cookie on lock.
Now, if you didn't see the one concert, you have no idea what we're talking about, and that's your loss.
Oh my God.
So that's completely your loss.
So we have been all over the place because this is what Jeon Jungkook does to you.
This is what he does.
Your mind is just scrambled. Nothing goes in chronological order anymore.
He does it
So
on purpose.
you should really be listening to all of our other podcasts because they didn't go this way. Cookie does have us all over the place.
So
let's go with one person at a time.
Yeah, I'll go first. So there's been some controversy here recently regarding something that happened several years ago with Cookie when he was on that television show, and that guy treated him badly.
That name you refuse to.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna say his name because I'm not trying to rehash it. But let me tell you,
have they been on it yet?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they were on it. I was pissed. I was so angry and upset, and it was like a realization to me that I genuinely cared about this individual, because if I didn't care for this person, why would I be so upset? Why would I be so angry? And then he didn't even have the protection of his brothers. He was just kind of this lonely little woo! Anyway, that's when I knew that I genuinely cared about him and the other members in the group, and it was eye-opening.
Was it that moment, or was it when the neighborhood refused to feed him?
That too. I was upset about that too, because we all know how much this boy likes to eat. We all know how much he likes to eat, and the fact that none of them suckers fed him, but he did get on. Was it a? I don't.
It was something.
He did something later on
vlog.
and told us that he ate. Y'all can all calm down. I ate. But yes, I think. Oh my God. If you want to talk about growth and sincerely watching somebody go from a boy to a man, I mean, he is it.
Literally a little boy.
He has improved in everything. I mean, he was the golden matinee, so he was good at everything originally.
Yeah, how do you improve from that?
Yeah, but he did. Somehow he did.
Possible.
With 6 other amazing older brothers is how.
Right.
Yeah, that's how. That's exactly how.
Yeah.
And I love hearing from the other members just what that growth journey really was. Because it's so interesting,
Hilarious.
like the way we see Cookie now and how mischievous and wild he is.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes he just seems outright outgoing at times. And it's so interesting. I remember the very first time that I was kind of deep diving into each one of the members. Mm-hmm. It was so surprising to me to hear from the other members that when Cookie first joined him, that he was just completely silent. They said that he would come into their dorm and, you know, wait until everybody's asleep to go take a shower.
He was shy.
Yes, and barely spoke at all, and he would just completely mind his own business. And it was the hardest thing to get him to speak to them. And I just thought that was so wild to me at the time because I couldn't see that. Mm. But it really shows how much he really has grown, because you see him now and how much he absolutely dotes on his brothers and how much he dotes on ARMY. And you can just see what a world of a change it has been for him to grow up with them and grow up over the years. And it's been relatively short, I think, because he's still really young.
He is.
But he has just come such a long way. Yes. And
let's accomplish that mixtape.
Yes, I know, right? So when I picked Cookie as my bias, I'm not special compared to all other ARMY. I also watched Dope as one of my first music videos and saw Cookie in the police officer outfit. Now, to be fair, I didn't just jump the gun and go, that's my bias. I was also like Juana, and I was like, I'm going to watch each one of them and try to learn their names and try to learn more about them first. Because for me, as someone who was coming back from having left the K-pop scene for a while, I was still very skeptical. And I've never been this way. I personally can very much appreciate someone to have good looks, but I've never felt like a personal connection to anyone just because of looks. Like I've always been a person who can just look at someone and be like, they are very good looking, then go on my day and literally never think about it again. It's just not something that really comes up to me. So in that way, you know, boy bands in the past, even when I was like a preteen, and actors and everything have never really just made me swoon. I've just never swooned at that kind of image, I guess.
Until one day.
And of course I was impressed by them, but of course just by like pure image and not knowing anything about them, it wasn't a big deal to me. But they did intrigue me enough that made me want to look into them. And I did think that on first glance, in terms of good looks, it was him and V that I was admiring the most. But then something about Cookie, and I think it's because, again, we both have very similar personality traits, just absolutely drew me to him. And that in itself really intrigued me, because as someone who doesn't get swooned by anyone, I was like, why do I care? Really, truly, why do I care? And that's when I started looking into each of them and finding my own ways to connect. And then with Cookie in particular, it's not just that I feel like we share a lot of personal traits, kind of like how Mimi talked about her and V. But I think part of it is, since we're closer in age, I feel like, than some of the other members, I've like been able to kind of grow up alongside him while watching BTS, you know? Since I'm watching him grow from his life and I'm also growing at my own pace, for me, it's helped me feel close to him being in the same age group as well. And seeing how hard he works and how he's improved, and that's really egged me on to want to kind of match that level and also work really hard in my end. And
yeah, she's our golden magnet. Oh no.
Aw, thank you.
Okay, go ahead.
What were you checking?
No.
She was checking for age.
Yeah, I was checking
trying
for
to
age.
remember which one out of the two of you. Yeah.
Yes, I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
When Sarah is in our group, she's the golden matinee. And when she's not in our group, I'm the golden matinee. That's what kind of threw Mako for a loop. But continue.
I just love him so much in so many ways. And even when he just makes me want to rip my hair out because I can't see straight and I'm blinded and I'm like, I didn't ask you to wear such tight pants and I need you to stop, and he doesn't, because he is the most, just the most brattiest member.
There's a serious sense of evil.
Yes.
In him. And
the
it
way
comes out.
So all of the members have some level of a playfulness and teasing that they play towards us. But Cookie, especially once he became of age to be a full-grown man, he has just taken this to a whole nother level.
Because let me tell you why he took it to a whole nother level. Because he has made it clear, out of the 7 members, he's the one who loves us the most.
Oh my God,
that's true.
He keeps us in his pocket. He's like taking us and just keeping it, and he wants to stay. He wants us to stay in his pocket, even when he's 92.
Yep, even when he's no longer with the group, he's like, y'all coming with me, y'all with me. Yep. I love y'all.
When we leave the dorm, you can have that pillow and you can have that vape. I'm taking Army. I'm taking Army.
I mean, the boy has Army tattooed on his hand, y'all.
Yeah.
That's something you look at every day. Your hand. And can we just talk about those freaking tattoos, okay? Because again,
it's rare
his
that I
body
like
art.
tattoos on a person. Period.
Yes.
And I like them on him.
He makes
Because we
anything
like
look
him.
good. He could just have
So
a giant scar across his back.
You really didn't like rap until BTS. You really didn't like tattoos until BTS.
Yeah, I didn't like butts until BTS.
Until BTS.
I didn't like feet until BTS. Yeah, I didn't. They really broadened my horizon.
Really?
Yeah.
I think the tattoos thing is very interesting from Cookie's perspective because especially, like, of course, we all know that in any country, tattoos still have a taboo connotation to them.
Yes.
But in Asia in particular, it is like a really serious taboo because a lot of people associate it specifically with gang members, like historically. And especially because they have bathhouses over there and they often see each other without their clothes on. As soon as you see any kind of tattoo, it's a negative connotation. And I'm not sure if all of you know this, but I believe tattoo salons are illegal in Korea because I looked into this because I follow some Korean tattoo artists because I want a tattoo one day, and some of them have talked about on an interview that it is illegal because it apparently violates some specific medical act that says something like you're not allowed to harm someone a certain way, and tattooing is technically harming someone. So first of all, because of that, I'm like, how did you even
On his travels.
Yeah, his travels for sure.
then secondly, it really shows him really standing against cultural norms.
Well, I mean, from when he was young, he's always wanted tattoos.
That's true.
From when he was young,
true.
he's always wanted tattoos, and he got them. He got them.
Even
he
though
put
they
his on
cover
there.
it up on TV and put the tape on his hand and blur it.
Yeah, and we're so
Well,
honored.
they don't really do that much now.
Yeah, they
Not
don't
anymore.
at all. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not
So-
after Army got to them.
Yeah.
We're so honored that he chose us to
Yeah.
for his first
So
tattoo.
can we talk about the McNay's vocals?
Yes, please.
His
Please
vocals.
start leading us.
His vocals.
They've come a long way. They didn't have that far to travel, but they've come.
Pause. You do know, when you eat, we hear everything. I'm just saying. I
From
just
the
want
first
you to
one, I
know-
was waiting for somebody to tell me.
I've been
Nobody
hearing
said
it, I thought
anything,
you
so
would stop. But I want you to know it might be picked
All I
up
can
on
see
this.
is Cookie right now.
I didn't even pay
why
attention.
would I stop if no one told me?
I'm sorry. It might be picked up, but just wants to let you know.
It's a soft baby grape.
And go.
His vocals. Mimi is still laughing about something.
A
but
baby
whenever
grape.
whenever she's ready to lead about his vocals.
Yes, girl, his vocals. So we know that they're very extremely stable, and we know that he is the lead vocal in BTS. But he has some soul to him as well. I know we talked about how much soul
Quite a bit.
that Tay has in his voice, but he got some soul in him as well.
He's got deep R&B. So.
Yeah, heck yeah.
R&B. Yes, if V is more jazzy,
More
yes,
old school.
absolutely.
He's more current.
Cookie is more current and R&B ish, and a little bit.
And
of
I think
pop,
that's
yeah.
what his mixtape is going to reflect.
Absolutely.
I really do think that's what, if it reflects something else, I would be extremely surprised.
And I think from what we've gotten from a preview of some of his previous songs in My Time, I think it's just going to knock us dead. His
My
mixtape.
God, how can this one, this dude, this guy, this evil specimen of an amazing person. How do you make a song about sunshine and daisies look so genuine, luscious?
Is the song about sunshine and daisies?
No, I'm just using
Oh,
comparison. Like he could make,
I was reading the wrong lyrics.
what's that? He could make the Ronald McDonald song be sensual.
Yes, basically.
It is my point. Like,
Him
why
and
why
me.
does he do that? Why?
I
My
don't know.
Time is not what he presented.
No, it is not about what it sounds like.
Well,
it's
I mean,
about.
V does the same thing. I don't mean to be getting on V on a different podcast, but I mean, yeah, more than one of them do that.
But I don't know why, but that seems to be what he's adopted as his personal style, as we have confirmed from
And
the
it's
one
clearly
concert.
intentional.
It is
And
clearly
I'm okay.
He went left with that. He did. He took this is my time, and I mean, in his defense, it was his time to do with what he wanted to do with.
It was
Yeah,
his
you
time.
know,
He said
and
he was
he-
going to show Army a different face, a
you
know
different
what
did
side of
with
him.
it what he wanted to do with
You
it.
know what happened? That one teeny tiny first second of a moment that he realized what Army liked. He was like, okay, you like, I will do this. I got y'all, Army. I got you, Army. and he went with it.
I think we could spend an entire podcast and then some trying to contemplate what that boy was thinking when he decided to do that.
Have we not come to the conclusion that he doesn't think, he just do?
He just did.
He just does it.
He just does.
Yeah.
He just gets out there. He's like, I'm not gonna think about the consequences or nothing.
He don't, like when he jumped into the crowd.
Yes,
To-
yes. When he jumped
He
into the
didn't
crowd.
even think.
He
He just
just-
jumped right in the crowd.
He is the textbook
Impulsive.
brat. Impulsive.
Yes, he's
Just-
absolute
I think
brat.
that's a perfect description of him, a brat.
He is
He's a
the
brat.
textbook little brother in the bunch.
Yes.
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
He got the biggest talking to from RM after that.
Mhm. But you know something that I
Hobie.
appreciated
From Hobie.
about him from the get-go when he was just a boy rather than a man is how much he respects and loves his hymns.
Yes.
Like he is
yeah.
all about right after Army, if not before Army, comes his hymns. Like
Yeah.
he's always there for them. He recognizes his position as a MACNA, and although those above him don't treat him as less than, he's always the support. You know, he's the kid of the group. Like he does for his parents. You know, and his big brothers.
And when we say brat, it's because the boys let him get away with murder.
They really do.
They let
because
him
they
get
just
away
love
with
him so much.
Everything. Remember that one long time ago? They were on that swirly thing,
And he kept doing
and
it.
he got
The
Jim in
merry-go-round.
first, and he was spinning and spinning.
yes,
They like
that
stop,
little,
stop.
that little spinning toy you see at
And
playgrounds.
then he
called
got
the
tagged the
merry-go-round,
next day.
people.
Yeah.
And like they were just like they was like stop, and then after it was all said and done, he was
You'll
still
see
swinging.
In all kinds of videos too, Cookie literally beating the crap out of his older brothers, and they just let him.
They
And
just
I
let
have
him.
no idea.
like actually actively beating them up with with something, and they just let him. You remember that scene when they were really young? Him and V were singing a rock song, and Hobie and someone
they were sitting.
They were just sitting like it was normal and natural, and then they joined in, and then they went back to normal. That's
you
so
can hear
adorable.
from all these incidents you're bringing up that we really have had the privilege of watching Cookie actually grow up.
Yeah.
Indeed.
The most since he's the youngest in the group, and he joined the group the youngest. And something we actually talked about recently under this topic is especially with them not being able to do stages because of COVID. I mentioned, of course, all the members are going to take this super hard, but I think that in some ways Cookie probably is taking it the hardest. Because other than loving the stage, he really, really has grown up with ARMY as a member of BTS, and this is almost all he knows.
Yeah.
Because if you compare it to Jin, who is the oldest and had a chance to go to college and live on his own a little bit before becoming a trainee, he's had a little bit of taste of normal life outside of being an idol. But for Cookie, that's
what he knows.
everything he knows.
Yeah, I remember because we were talking about this just the other day, and I said literally he went from singing about how we bring him to Euphoria and spending a year of singing that to us, and then just being snatched away from us. That had to have been a true cultural shock for him.
And this is the boy who jumped on a freaking hook to fly
To
over
fly
ARMY
over us and sing it
he
to
came
us.
so close
And sing it to us, yeah.
and jumped into the crowd without a second thought of
then
what
that-
could happen to him.
And then all of that is just snatched from him. So yeah, I'm sure he spent a
I mean,
lot
he
of
was the
time
one that was in
recently
tears. He
just
kind of pulled his hat
crying.
over his face, and they were watching a concert or something, and he was just like, ARMY, Boko Ship, like I really missed them, and then he had some tears going down his face. I don't ever question his love for ARMY. I
Absolutely.
know it's
No.
strong.
I'll question it when he kills us.
His sanity. Like I don't question that.
I just like V. I also, and I mentioned this on V's podcast. I love his relationship with his parents and how and I'm grateful with how he shares that with us and shares when he talks with his father about things, and I like that he is open with us about that.
That's true. Adding on to what I said before, it made me realize saying it that this isn't even the first time we've seen how much he really loves being with us in concert, because we got to see a little bit of this in one of their movies. It was either Burn the Stage or Bring the Soul. It might have been Bring the Soul, but showing us the backstage of their Love Yourself tour while they were in Europe, and when Cookie injured his foot really bad and he couldn't perform, and it just absolutely tore him up. And even though they wanted to take him straight to the hospital, he even insisted against his older brother's wishes, and it had to be very serious for him to do that he at least be able to sit on stage with them and sing with them. He just absolutely refused to go to the hospital when he needed to over something like that. And even then, he really clearly cried on stage, and you could see that, you know...
Pause.
And you could see that, you know...
that he really loves being in concert with us, and it really is one of the top priorities in his life.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
I feel like he's the one I'm most protective of.
Pause.
Jeez.
I think we should...
Yeah, I don't know if it's because the boys protect him so much, but he's definitely the one I'm most protective of. The one I'm most like, you better do right by him. Don't mess with him. So, yeah.
Well, I mean, it's probably because of him being the moment that you realize you cared about them deeply.
Yeah.
But all that to say, what we really just love about him is he really is ARMY's biggest fan.
He is.
And even if he, for some reason, disappears from social media for weeks on end and then comes back up
Seriously.
all of a sudden, which I also do, so I kind of understand. But I just really love how open he is and genuine he is, and I feel like sometimes he thinks he has trouble expressing his feelings, but he doesn't. You can absolutely tell everything he's trying to say. I remember one time he went on V Live to talk about something that had happened, and it might have been about him crying on stage, and he was pretty much just blubbering the whole time, honestly. In terms of his words, he was just blubbering and stuttering and just being like, I don't know exactly what to say, but you tell exactly what he was trying to say, what he was doing, and his sincerity, and it just reaches you so easily. And I really hope that these days he is, finding a lot of things to do with his free time and just enjoying the things he couldn't do before, and just finding time for himself and continuing to kind of, like Juana put earlier, try to learn more about who he is.
One of the things that he mentioned in his one-on-one with V and Chicken in the Soup is that when V mentioned he missed all of it and he didn't know where to go from there, Cookie said, just do what you can, pretty much. I'm summarizing. He said, just do what you can. Cookie's very driven and knows what he wants, and he's very focused. So when you mentioned, I hope that he's occupying his time, I know that he is for sure, because for one thing, his muscles ain't going nowhere. And
even though he checks on them every other...
Yes, he's constantly checking his muscles.
And because just all the evidence that we have, he's definitely occupying himself with what he needs to do, and so he can prepare for the next time that we are with him, right?
Yeah.
So I'm not worried about him. I know he's sad, but when you're sad and you're focused, it helps you get through that pain.
I know he's got like a million different hobbies. So that's true, and he's probably good at all of them.
Can we get a freaking, what would be dope is if we got
another Golden Closet film
in their dorm.
Oh my gosh, I cannot believe we didn't even talk about the Golden
Give
Closet
us another
films
Golden
yet.
Closet film.
I want one in their dorm.
My favorite one is the Helsinki.
That's everyone's favorite.
That's my favorite one. I really find that me and Cookie has introduced me to some music I've never heard before.
Yeah.
And because of Helsinki, I hope I'm saying...
I don't think you are.
I hope I'm saying it right. I apologize, Helsinki. I apologize, Helsinki.
So we can finish this podcast.
But, I was laughing for two reasons. One, I'm sorry for laughing earlier. It's just that I looked down my shirt like Cookie looked down his shirt. I didn't see the same thing. So anyway.
That's like Jen saying, when I think about myself dancing, I see Hobie. Boom, and I see myself
So in the mirror. That's not Hobie.
So, yeah, that song that was for that particular video, I actually went and learned it And I genuinely like that song. And it's a couple of songs that he's introduced me to that I genuinely really, really like.
I love his music taste.
Yeah, I really do like his taste in music. And it's just people I've never even heard of before. But I really, So, that was it.
Yes.
My favorite is Disney. Japan Disney with him and Jimmy.
That was so sweet.
That is my favorite.
You can really see in his Golden Closet films in particular just how much he loves his brothers. It really shows like how he sees them.
Yeah.
And you can see his growth in editing.
Yes.
Yeah, from the beginning to Helsinki.
But I also like the one with the practice for the MMA.
Yes.
Oh my gosh!
That's in a category all
that
its
is in a
own,
category all its own.
Dude,
That's
you
just
are. It
so
just shows
good.
that he's gifted beyond the stage, like
Yes.
behind the
So-
camera
If he
and in
weren't
front of the
this-
camera.
If he weren't this and he didn't discover how incredible he can sing and dance and everything else in life, he would be a director.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
If that's what where his passion lies, but I think his passion lies like all over the place, and he's still trying to discover exactly where he's going to land.
Yeah.
And I think he's just like a free spirit. He's just like, I'm not going to box myself into one
He's
passion.
absolutely a free
Right.
spirit.
Even if he finds one that he is more passionate about than the other, he's not going to stop and box himself into that. I can do this, and I can do some of that, and I can do a whole lot of this. I think that's where his head is now and where his heart is now. But yes, please do. That is my letter to you. Give us another Golden Closet film while you got the time, brother.
Yeah, while you got the time.
Come on with it.
My letter to Cookie is that I want you to know that we recognize the love coming from you, and we want you to know that we love you just as much. We really, really, really do. I love the brightness that you bring to the group, which is different than what Hobie brings. You bring, you're like, you bring like an innocent, like playfulness
Your brattiness.
to the group.
Your brattiness.
Because what you did in that vlog with the pool,
Oh my gosh.
and you kept hitting the table and kept hitting the table and kept hitting the table, and your brothers just got soaked to the max. It's just a reflection of how playful you are, and you're not just taking things just too seriously. Stay that way. Don't take life too seriously. Just continue to be who you are and continue to grow into the man that you're becoming. And we love you.
All this is to say is Cookie truly, truly does whatever the heck he wants.
Good thing he's a good guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good thing he
And
is.
he loves Army.
Yep. But of course I could say a 1,000 different things to Cookie, but I think I'm starting to understand Zoe's letter now. There's just so much to say that there's just a little bit to say. He already knows that I love him very much. You know, we talk all the time.
Right, yeah. I remember
Yep,
that, yeah.
exactly. And I'll talk to him later today, so it doesn't have to worry about, saying all of that. And I just want to continue on this journey with him and BTS forever.
Yeah, forever and ever.
And I cannot wait to see him in concert again.
Oh my gosh.
Cannot
It's
wait.
going to be unbelievable. Yo, Cookie. Like, we got golden, what is it called? Golden tickets?
We'll see you at sound check, brother. We'll see you
Yes,
at
we're
sound
going to
check.
see you at sound check, my love.
see you
We're
at
going to
sound
see
check.
you.
I
You
bought
gonna
a
know
bucket
it's
hat
us?
because of you.
Because how? How's he going to know it's us?
Well, this isn't the podcast for the concert discussion.
Oh.
But trust and believe, you'll know.
Yes, we miss you just as much as you miss us.
Yes.
And
So
we will
we-
see you soon.
Yes.
The only thing that I have to say to Cookie is whenever I work out, which I haven't done in a long time, I think of you because I know that you push through your pain to improve, and that's what gets me through that. So that all that is to say, you help me work hard, especially when it comes to putting my hands on things. You help me work hard, and I guess, you would probably be the fireplace in my magic shop. Kind of like my whole house runs on that fireplace, and the fire just burns very strongly, and you feed, like Howl's Moving Castle. The flame feeds the house. So that's probably what you would be for me.
I did not even think about how thighs on guys exist until I met Cookie.
That's so true. That's so true.
I never even thought about that body part until I saw Cookie.
Yeah.
Y'all are so young. But yeah, he did redefine it for.
I mean, you
for
could also
life.
say we're
Yeah.
innocent. What you been up to?
Oh my god.
Okay, we gotta wrap this up. All right. Well, thank you so much for listening.
Yes,
and that
thank you for
concludes
listening.
our series, just like each of the boys.
We are finished. Yeah, and if you're just starting, you need to go back and start at the beginning.
Yes, we
Don't
yes.
just
The
pick
other
out your
ones-
bias.
The other ones are way more organized.
And so now
You know,
Cookie.
Okay, now you know Cookie. Now you know.
We ain't never gonna get
Cookie.
it, y'all. It's okay.
Cookie.
Thank
Who's
you for
that from?
listening.
Cookie.
Which I conclude.
J-Hope when he was scared.
We're
he was
gonna go
against the
now,
wall.
but thanks for
Bye.
listening. Bye.